All right, in this episode, we're going to be talking about real estate investments, how you can compound your wealth, and different types of investments. Welcome to the show. Thank you for stopping by, leaning your eyes and ears for the show. My name's Turner Cavender.
And I'm Travis Hitt.
We didn't do that in the last episode.
Whoops.
No, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, you did do it. All right, so today we are going to speak on investment, but before we do, if you gather value from this show, please share it. You never know who out there could gather value as well, and you never know who could help you on this. Today, we are going to talk about how we could compound your wealth and different types of investments.
Mainly rentals we're talking today.
Rentals? Okay. See?
We have timeline.
Yeah, the timeline, yeah. Because we could really go in and make this really, really long. But we're not. So, different types of investments. We're going to talk about rentals. There are long-term and there are short-terms. Mm-hmm. All right? I'll let you start, and then I'm going to just pile on top of it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I love the rental game. I started my my real estate career in investment. So I learned a lot right up front, which was great. But yes, there are two different types of rental investments. There's long-term rental holds and there's shorter-term rental investments. And I typically have two different types of clients with two different types of mindsets. Sometimes you'll get an investor that can do both. But a lot of investors, they are valuing a property that they buy, a rental property, based off of monthly and annual income, their profit on the monthly and annual income, because it's a longer term investment. I have some shorter term investors that they may not care or strategize as much to worry about the monthly and annual income based off the monthly rents, but they're also holding it as an equity play. Okay. So if it's in an up and coming area, they may be willing to take less on a profit margin for the monthly, but they know in 3 to 5 years, this area is going to grow, gentrify, change. That happens a lot here in the Dallas area. And they know they're going to sell it in a couple of years based off of the equity, but the equity growth in a shorter time period is going to far outweigh on the profit side the monthly rental profit that they make.
Yeah, 100%. So kind of like make it a little bit more understanding for the masses. Is that when you hold on to it, right, just like owning your own home, right, value always goes up, as statistics show. So
99.9%.
Yeah, we'll just give that room for error. Is that you could buy a property, you'll have equity gain once you sell it, but during that time you can pay for all the fees that own that home yearly, and then also make an income monthly. Now, the long-term rental game is like what you would normally know, is that we all did it when we were going through our young adult time, is that we had a lease an apartment or a residential home. That's long-term, right? The short-term game short-term rentals would be like your Airbnb, VRBOs type of things like that.
Yeah.
So that is a short term. Now, short terms can make substantially a lot more than long term, but they're also acquire a lot more fees, the cleaning fees. There's a lot of different other things, insurance and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of roadblocks that come with short terms. There could be HOAs that don't allow it. There could be city limits that don't allow it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different things that you need to watch out for when you have a rental property, like having if you have a lake house with a dock, there's going to be higher insurance. There could be bigger liabilities for people getting hurt or drowning on your property.
Yeah.
With the long term, that is a thing too as well. But you have a lot more people coming in and out of those doors, which brings a lot more liability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Fix up cost.
Yeah.
But the rental game is one of the most beneficial ways and easiest ways to accrue wealth. And I tell people, I go, again, don't listen to me. Look at people that are smarter than me and wealthier than me, that most of your wealthiest people in the world, most of their portfolio is in real estate.
Real estate holders, yep.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough when I started in the real estate career, literally the first 5 transactions were all investment homes. And so I quickly, I learned a lot from my brother. He, was in the real estate game, and I learned a lot through him, and it was a very big blessing going into this world, real estate, and serving people like you. Is that the one client I had, we bought 3 rental properties.
Nice.
And he's never been to Texas.
Yeah.
And so I take care of them for him, and we bought them too, in 2020, 2021.
Yeah.
And the equity gain he got on all those things is
massive,
outrageous. And also he's gaining, rental. They're all long term. So
monthly income.
Yeah, monthly income. He's got 11 in properties all over the United States, but the Texas ones have been producing more.
Yeah.
Most.
But I tell people all the time, and I wish I would have started earlier, but I didn't really have a mentor to talk to me like I do now in my life, and I can share information with others. But a lot of people don't know how easy it is to get into the investment real estate world when it comes to rentals.
Okay.
And when I say easy, it can be easy, but also they don't know the financial side. To buy a rental property, typically you're going to put 15 to 20% down for that property. So it is a little more expensive than if you're buying a home and you're only putting 3% down. But typically investors, they're not even thinking about 3% because they have liquidity and they know they're buying homes. Mm-hmm. But you buy that house and you think about it, there's a lot of properties that you can put down. That 15 to 20% is anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000. So a lot of people spend money on their cars, on vacations. But if you can buy a rental property, that is how you produce wealth, because you now have an asset that you're making money from, not a liability. You're able to rent that out every month, and when you want to sell it, you're most likely 99.9% of the time, you're going to have that equity in that home. That's just a big paycheck to you. Also, there's a lot of different types of investment strategies, but again, we don't have time to get into all of them.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, once you buy a property or 2 properties, you can borrow against those properties without spending any more of your liquid cash. Exactly. There's ways. There's a strategy called the 3 R's that you can rehab it, refinance it, rent it out, and then continue doing that again. Well, you automatically, if you buy a property that needs work, you fix it up, then you refinance it, you're going to have that new valuation of what the property's worth. You can borrow against that to use as the down payment for the next rental.
And what's that borrowed money? What's that called when you borrow from the equity?
There's a lot. It depends on how you do it.
Okay.
But it's really, you're just buying against your equity. Mm-hmm. So you're leveraging your equity.
Like the asset, because if you default,
they're going to take the property.
Exactly.
And they know that they're going to make money off of it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways. Once you buy 1 or 2, you don't have to spend your own cash to be able to buy another property.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to start building wealth to keep for yourself, or if you're a generational thinker like we are, to pass down to your family, to have for your children. Mm-hmm. It's a great way to accumulate wealth, and it's a great way to just make an income monthly without doing a whole lot once you have the home.
So Travis and I both have a lot of experience in this. We have a lot of investors that trust in us, and we want to, thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate that. And I actually find the investment side of real estate the most fun for me.
Yeah, it's fun.
I like it the most. All the transactions.
Okay.
I'm not trying to, outmarket myself to what I like to do.
What do you like the most about it?
What I like the most about it is that it's an income producing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just such a business minded type of person.
Yeah.
And I really like finding it. There's what I like to say. Their slice of paradise that pays them. That gives them that sense of paradise.
Yeah.
Right. So it's producing income for them to live on. Right. So I have investors that don't really work at all. All they do, their work is managing their portfolio.
Yeah.
Right. And they have people like myself that are in different states that help them manage those situations.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. Obviously, my biggest thing and dream is to purchase rental homes on lakefronts, beachfronts, slice of paradise. That I will get there, and I will be there. But I think that's why.
Okay, that makes sense.
Long-term goal.
Yeah.
But for the agent out there, like, set those goals. Right, I know we're talking about investments and stuff, but set those goals for you. That's an investment for you. Set those huge goals that other people might think is unreachable. Mm-hmm. But if you just set a mediocre, average goal, you hit it and you think you're proud of it, that's cool. But you could be so much more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So sorry, I just did the whole little leadership.
And if you're a new agent, listen to this. learn the investment side of it. Learn what ROI is. Learn margins. Learn the calculations of cap rates, how to figure out, is it a good purchase for your client? Because just because it's a rundown home or it's in an area that rents well, you still have to know what to pay for it, because if you pay too much, there's not going to be an ROI, which is return on investment. So you have to know the investment side, the investment strategy, to truly be able to help your client. And if you're a buyer, don't just look on Zillow on what the rents are. Learn your side as well, because the investment rental game looks very attractive, and it is for a reason, but it can also be very difficult up front. You have to understand areas, and you have to know, is it going to be a good investment? It's not just about price. It's not just about rentals. I explained, I just sold 2 homes for one of my investors. She trusts me. I've known her for many years, and I told her it was time to sell. And in her mind, she questioned, why would I sell these 2 assets that I have a lot of equity in? They were both paid off. Why would I not hold them to sell? Well, once we ran the calculations and numbers, typically she was getting to where she was spending thousands on thousands of dollars a year after one tenant moved out and we had to put a new one, because they were much older properties. And so, yes, even though the rental rates were great because it was paid off, a lot of that profit that she was getting at the end of the year, she's dumping right back into the home. And it's an area that it's going to continue to grow in valuation just with natural inflation, but it's not going to have any more high equity spikes because the age in the specific location this one's in. So it made more
equity and upgrade.
It made more sense to sell those properties. And I told her the only way I'll sell these for you is if you buy more rentals with this. But we got her a new home that is much newer. It's not brand new, but it's newer. She's going to spend less money annually into that property, because even if you're making a lot of money on something, but you're having to dump it back into it, and it's not going to make you more on the equity side by putting more money into it, anybody will tell you that's a bad investment.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that as he was touching on is looking at Zillow. That's cool. If you like the window shop, that's cool. But if you actually want to get,
I've got an app for that too, if you need it.
Yeah, you know. So if you really want to get into nitty gritty about what you actually need to know and all the things that you don't see on Zillow that an application can't do, humans like us that are knowledgeable can tell you if the HOA will let you have a rental at all.
And there's ways around that too.
Yeah. So there's ways around it. There's places that don't allow short terms. There's certain places that don't allow long terms, but some things that you need to go around so you can do that. If you just went off the street and try to do it, and then you find out you dug all this money into it, and you're like, oh well, now that sucks.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, it does. So I've seen it, unfortunately. Ask us questions. That's what we're here for. That's why we have this podcast. That's why we have the YouTube channel. We're here to serve you and do the best thing you can. Is there anything these people need to know about investments right now?
No, there's a lot you need to know about, but right now, no, that's the highlight.
All right, well, we're going to keep this short and sweet. I thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. We value you coming here. Please pay the fee. Let people know us about us. And when you think about real estate, think about real estate leadership.
Have a good one.